Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Diaspora Divas. And with me today is Lady OG, MJ, and myself, Wanda.
Wait, so you forgot my AKB. Why are you doing all AKB and you forgot my own AKB?
I said Lady OG.
Yes, and you said
MJ.
You said MJ. I don't tire. No, I don't vex. I'm tired.
It's now 4 hours.
I'm tired.
Moving on 4 hours of sleep.
It's now 4 hours sleep that is causing
aggression.
I
I'll take myself now.
less than 4 hours of sleep for like 3 days.
Thank for evidence.
Sorry. But you shot everything, so I have to go back and. Okay, don't worry. Let's move on.
Okay. Our topic of today. Oh, it's an interesting one. And it is vagina delivery versus C-section.
Wow. Oh, wow. As you said that thing just now, it's just a C-section. Just remember the again that I felt when they told me,
So it's
you need to rush to the ward right now. We're delivering this baby. And my mom was like, how? We're going to have to do the cesarean section. And me in my life, please, whatever you have to do, just get the baby out. Get the baby out because I was vomiting and I was stooling at the same time. I lost energy, I lost strength. So just take the baby out, let the baby safe so that I too can breathe. And I didn't even know it was a sign of
preeclampsia.
Yes, I had preeclampsia and my labor came as vomiting and stooling. So I didn't know that was a sign of. Probably I was saying, no, I'm not due yet. People do go into labor like this. So as you said that thing, it just brought back memories. I know.
Anyway, just in case you don't know, vaginal birth is when you go into labor and then you have your child through the vaginal canal. And it's also called the natural birth because there is less intervention, there's less medical intervention. Maybe just piss it out.
I wish it was that easy the way you said it.
It's not from, where the V comes, but it comes from that region. While the C-section is where they have to cut your abdomen, your lower abdomen, to bring the baby out. And in saying that cutting the lower abdomen, it makes it sound like, it's just one slice and the baby pops out.
Right.
But it's beyond that. I think there are about 7 layers or so that they need to cut through to get the baby out of your body.
Shout out to all women out there. Which type of bet you encountered or you had done? Shout out to you.
Thank God for what they say. Numbing, epidural, and all that. If we had to really cut people
without any anesthetic.
I don't think anyone would actually go for it. I think maybe
you even have people not falling pregnant. Maybe.
But C-section most often than not will be the delivery method where the woman has some complications and they just need to get the baby out for the baby's safety and mother's safety. But then these days, more and more women are able to do the elective section.
Yes, and that's
so they just choose that's the way they want their birthing.
Some people even choose the date of their baby, the date they want. Like I want this special. This day I want. It's so beautiful to watch, irrespective of the pain that maybe we go through after. Because for me, speaking as someone that has had cesarean, I don't know
have cesarean birth.
Yes. I don't have an experience of what it takes to do vaginal delivery. The 2 C-sections I had, the first one was quite dramatic, and the second one was just okay. Yes, I get that.
I've been there, done that. Let's
exactly. So let's just go do it. Whatever. They actually gave me the option to say, okay, you know what, baby is getting overdue.
Mm.
If baby does not come by this time, we will have to get a letter here because we don't want you to have it. But baby did not agree to come, so I couldn't. She didn't. No pushing, nothing. I was thinking maybe the same way I experienced labor with the first child would be the same, but the second one was just come here, refused to come up. And I said, Madam, we can't keep you any further than this. You had already been in the hospital for over a week because I had preeclampsia.
Yeah.
Let's just get baby out. And get
What's preeclampsia?
It's when you have high blood pressure that goes way above normal. Maybe it's induced by by the baby. It's not that you have it normally.
Yeah.
So
It's pregnancy induced high blood pressure.
They said maybe you have protein in the baby. That's usually one of the signs.
Protein.
So they check for that, and it's way high. It kept me on bed rest for over a week before actually leaving, just because it was too high. I just went in for my normal pregnancy checkup.
Yeah.
Madam, you're not going back home. I guess your bags.
Can you just tell us a little bit more about how preeclampsia can affect mother and baby or the whole pregnancy?
Sometimes it affects the baby's birth weight. My baby was 2.5. The first one was 2.7. So they come out small, and if you don't take care of it, it can have an effect on both baby and mother can lose their lives. So it's very important. Imagine you not having high blood pressure as a human being, and they are worried. Don't worry when you are not carrying their lives. So, yes.
Was it? Did you have any symptoms, or was it just when
you
just checked your blood pressure?
Yes.
Wow.
So, but the second one, because I knew that it happened with the first one, I had to take caution with the second. But the first one, no signs, nothing. I just go to the hospital, and then the hospital like, Madam, what's going on? Then you go for the second what they call it?
Antenatal.
Go for the first antenatal. Tell you, Madam, you know what? The next one we'll check. You go for the second, and you go for the third one. And say no. It's not normal. They start telling you have to be on this medication, you have to be on this, cut down on this, take iron, take vegetables, I have to be drinking ugu water, things like that. Yes, so with the second one, it was quite easy to manage because I now know that I have this pregnancy induced thing, so I have to take care.
Yeah,
that's what was it.
What has your birthing experience been? Have you had both?
I'm listening to her, I felt like that feeling like when you finish this so you're like, you give it. I don't know what to now say.
Yeah. No, I haven't had both. I think I've had all my 3 kids with their natural birth. So it's just, that's the only experience I know. Not an easy one too, because I don't think anyone knows what to expect, especially when you first fall pregnant. We're just used to 9 months home and you give birth. When you start going for checkup, I think for whatever pregnancy, and that's what they ask you. Like, they will encourage you to have a natural birth, but at the same time, they leave your options open.
Yeah.
Like, there are people that we've heard about these things. It's not, even without knowing, people tell you how crazy it is, how the pain is indescribable. And, some people, you still hear people tell you, let me just go through the cesarean, let me do this. The truth is, also the pain threshold for everybody, one, is different. There are people that are already anxious even before that, the whole process. Like, we hear too many stories. Like, people labor for days, people labor for hours. Someone that labored for hours, we will be, okay, I can do it, it's 5 hours, right? Someone that labored for 36 hours, I can't imagine the pain I felt it for 36 hours. I would lose my mind. But, to be honest, I think with my first and third baby, if they allowed me, I wanted to just have cesarean.
Yeah.
The pain.
Oh, wow.
The pain of the delivery or the labor?
See, I don't even know. Like you say, everyone's story is different. Like for me, one history I have with my children is that, when they engage, and then engaging is like, when they descend and preparing their way out for delivery, they are always facing the opposite. So they're head down, but facing the opposite direction, which presses on your spine. So now that pain.
So wait, break it down a little bit. Normally, when the baby's head engages into the pelvis, the baby's face
It's
should
supposed to, yes,
outwards.
yes.
But your experience has been the baby's face
Is facing that
facing your
way.
spine.
Yes.
Wow.
So my first experience, I'll tell you that I did not know what contraction was like because that pain was 10 times worse than contraction.
Wow.
So the pain was that bad that the machine they were using to tell me you're contracting, me, I didn't know I was contracting because that pain was already too much. It was crazy. And then the downside of that is that you progress slowly. So I went to the hospital day 1, day 2, day 3. My mom, hearing that I was in the living room, would always be like, stop, tell them to do cesarean. Like, you don't want to be in pain for 3 days. It was that, in fact, that was when I knew there was something like that even when baby has descended, there's something like still posterior and anterior. It's very, that pain was mind-blowing. I don't think I can ever recover from it. Because, after day 1, day 2, day 3, in fact, day 3, when they were still sending me back home, that was when my water broke and then they kept me in the hospital. To help with that spine pain, there was one injection that they had to give me at my back.
Was that a epidural?
Like, just to,
Relieve
at that point,
the
those
pain.
3 days, there was one thing. They're trying to give you, and then the midwife at that point would tell me that in most cases, very few people will just have this. Like, most cases, it will lead to cesarean. So imagine me telling you for 3 days, I was exhausted. There was no strength to have something to eat. That was even why, even at the point of pushing, it was like, I'm finished. My energy is gone. Like, when you don't eat, that's why if someone asks me for advice for someone that is having baby, I used to tell them, eat. You don't know, it will come in handy. Because that experience was really bad, because when I had my second, and even though it was similar, but she turned, I gave birth to that child and I was wondering, is this how easy? It's not easy, but compared to the pain I felt before, I'm just trying to explain how intense that pain was. Compared to the pain I felt, that second delivery was nothing. So that is just to explain to people and for people out there to know that we need to really check positions of it, because if you know ahead of time, there are exercises, there are things you could do just to
adjust the position.
Yeah, adjust the position, because that pain, it's intense. Like, at least I felt it twice, and I can tell you that not feeling that pain in labor room, like it was with my second that I knew that, I'm contracting. It was 10 minutes apart, it was 2 minutes apart. Whereas the pain of the first one never made me feel what contraction was like. I was being told.
I think I remember asking you that, are you contracting or something?
I don't know.
Like, I don't know.
I don't know. So for 3 days, I kept feeling back pain. I didn't even know that there was anything like front, because I don't know, it was that monitoring that they were telling me
when the contraction
was happening. Whereas for the second baby, I felt it. It just went through. But when you've actually felt some intense pain, there will be some pain that you can manage. But my first experience was bad. My third experience was intense. How can you go to the hospital when you're 10 centimeters? And we already know how that pain is. They tell you can't push because the baby is not positioned properly. And for 5 hours, I begged for my life. I got to the point where I just told my husband, nah.
So why didn't you?
I don't give up easily, but I said I can't.
Why didn't you just opt for elective CS?
At that point in time, I said to the doctors came, because you have a lot of people coming in and out. The doctors came. I told her what I had to tell her. She just kept encouraging me. Depending on the doctor you have, some will just tell you, okay, let's prepare the quick. Some will still want to push you. This one pushed me to the point where when I was almost giving up. Okay, she said, I'm not going to tell you anything. I'll just do another ultrasound to see where the baby's at. And it was just God. Because, for me at that point, I was like, nah, God, in your hands, I can't do it. So by the time she did the ultrasound, see, the way God works, you just never understand. I don't know how she just did the ultrasound, boom, so me, baby has turned. Boom, it was time to push. That's it. Baby was out. But man, I don't know, for people that have experienced it, you know what I'm talking about. I don't wish it to anybody. I don't wish that position, not like the experience, but it's really hard. Okay, pregnancy comes with different experiences.
I have had both, and I can tell you for free. Based on my own personal experience, I will pick natural birth any day.
Really?
Anytime.
If it's a choice, yeah.
If it's not, as long as it's not a matter of life and death, I will pick natural delivery
Oh, wow.
any day, anytime. Because my natural delivery experience for my two older kids,
Mm.
it's not, I can't say it's been a breeze, but it's been easy in comparison to a marriage story, for
Yes,
instance.
I get what you mean.
It's been easy because after the labor, when it's time to push, I just push like 2-3 times and the baby is out. So, and once the baby is out, the first experience, of course, my body adjusted a little bit and I didn't know what to expect. So it took me a while to get back on my feet. But my second child, after I had him, I was up and, had a shower. I was moving all around. I was doing everything by myself. But then the third one, which was the C-section, it was an emergency C-section. And unfortunately, she was an extreme preemie. So that fear was already there. And if you've given birth in Australia, you understand. When doctors are looking worried for you, it starts to make you worry even more. Because if the doctors are still like taking it easy, then you don't see the weight of the situation that you're in. You just think, yeah, everything is under control. But when you start seeing them moving around with worried faces, I had the neonatal surgeons come in to tell me what to expect. Once those ones leave, the pediatricians will come in, tell me what to expect. That one leave, the midwife will come in, the nurses, the doctors. It was intense. So then I was already scared. I was already very anxious that what is happening. And then they said, oh, the baby has come out today. We can't leave her any longer. So as they made that decision, even wheeling me into the theater, it was so scary. And you're lying down looking up, so all you can see is just this white light. It sounds like you're wheeling me to heaven.
The experience leading up to it.
Yes.
You're watching the movie.
Yeah. So I'm on my back and they're just pushing the bed and all I can see is just light. And for 1 minute I couldn't find my husband. I freaked out. Sorry. So we got there, they put in I think they give you an epidural. They put it in. By then, my energy was gone. I don't even know what was happening. Because before I even got to that situation, I thought I was okay. But by then, my energy was spent. I was just in and out of it. So they gave me the needle and they brought out the baby. She was so tiny. She just let out a tiny cry. As soon as she came out, the room was full. All the neonatal surgeons, the neonatal doctor, it was packed. When we were doing the surgery, it was maybe like 6 to 8 people there. As soon as the baby came out, it was like 12 people just rushed in.
Because those minutes and seconds matter.
Yeah, every second literally mattered for her life. They rushed in, took her, as they were taking care of her, they called my husband to have a look. And even cut, if it was like a natural or something, he'll be the one to cut the umbilical cord. But they still gave him that opportunity. Are you crying? So he cut it, and then they were stitching me up. I felt like a meat. I felt like a piece of meat. When you're just feeling all this stuff.
Yes. I can relate.
Yeah, I know. In my head, I remember thinking, oh, this is what those cows and goats are doing.
In my mind, during my own time, in my mind, I was like, I'm just taking extra fat and just make sure you tell me talk. Let me know that you done it.
In my head, I was like, what? Because you can feel.
You can feel them talking at you, but you can't feel the pain.
You can't feel the pain. You can't feel anything. And then by the time they did all that, and then they wheeled me to a recovery area, I started shivering uncontrollably.
Yes, I can relate. Yes.
Yeah, so maybe coming out of the anesthetic,
you always shiver. Yeah,
I was shivering like
yes, exactly.
Uncontrollably. Yeah. Uncontrollably, I was like, what is this? Because my experience with having my baby,
even my teeth
yeah, my experience so far with having my babies has been very easy compared to this experience.
Yes.
So all of that, I was, as I said, stripping, I was just crying and feeling so sorry for myself. Now maybe this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the
Sorry.
event leading up to
Yeah.
it
It did my head in.
you know, if they had told you, oh,
If she was even grown,
oh yeah,
yeah,
that would you wouldn't even feel that
yeah,
way.
it might have been a different experience.
Not that much because you
Yeah.
wouldn't have that number of people show up because you would just be like, oh, it's scheduled. You just
Yes, the regular five people just do it and be done with it. But then the recovery afterwards was great. It made me just wonder, like, how would people just choose electives? Like, you just choose to be this. I couldn't understand it.
Maybe because you had the vaginal delivery.
Yeah.
Were very good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then also, I think it's also a thing of the mind.
Mm.
I know someone that has, like, she went through labor and all that, and she was almost delivering when baby's heartbeat was dropping, and they had to do CS. Yeah, so she's experienced a bit of it, even if she didn't really push, but she experienced labor till 10 centimeter, and she would tell me every day that she would never choose labor. So I can as well tell you that she experienced everything. It's only the push that was left.
Yeah.
So she knew what it felt like. So when she had the second baby, straight up to the doctor, when I'm 38 weeks, I want to have shit for specific.
I totally agree with you because when I had experienced the first contraction and all of that, I was crying for something to take the pain away. Not knowing that I was actually experiencing contraction. And I said, please help me. I just want to sleep. Please. And the doctor said, you know how it is. Right now. Yeah. They know that, Madam, is this your first child? Yeah, sorry.
And you know, just like, no, because your experience is sort of your natural delivery it was good. Like for me, two of my babies, I lost blood. Lost blood to the point that they were saying, we need to take you to the theater to be able to stop it. Or even, and because I've had that history, when I had this third baby, immediately the baby came out. This is me trying to recover. I don't know, blood just gushed out. The buzzer went, boom. If you see my word, wow. I didn't know my husband captured. I didn't know that he could still capture.
That we're even in a country with good health care.
The number of people in that place was scary. And I just pushed the baby, so the baby was on your chest. At the point, I had to tell them to take the baby away because it was too much. Everywhere, left, right, front, center, they're stopping the blood, the number of drips. Then they couldn't find blood. So the stories leading up to everything, I don't know if I don't know if I go to that journey a fourth time, which I don't, it's not happening.
Yeah, that's why I keep saying
I don't know if I
unless it's a matter of life and death. Because my natural delivery experience has been smooth. When I compare it to the CS and the time it even took me to recover,
how long did it take you?
It took me about 2 weeks.
But it would take her longer to recover because
there was mentally,
she was not okay.
I wasn't prepared for the entire
I think at day 3, they had me walking around the hospital. I wasn't walking from day 3, but day 1, day 2, all I did was just leave the bed.
And in less than 2 weeks, you went out.
Yeah, someone will come change my pads and all of that.
You know, after the whole thing, that whole day they'll let you rest. But then you need to stand up. Okay, no, I still had the catheter.
Yeah.
So the next day, I had to stand up and go and leave.
Next day?
Yeah.
In Nigeria, no. 2 days.
The next day,
maybe
I had to stand up. I had to stand up. And bear in mind that my baby was in the NICU.
Yeah.
So it's not like my baby is by my side there. So mentally, I'm already telling myself, you need to move. You need to stand up. Your baby needs your care. Yeah. It was too much for me. It was too much for me. If I get pregnant again, knowing that I'm not going to, but if by some stroke of fate it happens, I will just pray to God that it just has to be natural.
Considering I went through CS the first time, I already knew what to expect. I just know that I had to spend recovery time 1 week. And the second week, I wasn't actually my baby in that court, even though it was hard to sit, it's hard to stand. I didn't have a choice. I had to shower my baby now.
Personally, I don't know which word I want to say if I will go.
Because the pain is not here.
I always used to say that And for every child I've had, I've always gone to the hospital with an open mind. I don't know what to expect.
It's one thing if you are like 38 weeks,
Mm.
you know, because even with the other two, I came with an open mind that if it has to be CS, like either way, just the best option for baby and mom should take his course, right? And it just happened that we didn't need to do CS at that point. But if you're, first of all, you're dealing with the fact that your baby is coming so early, you're already scared, is this child even going to make it? Because at 25 weeks, how all your organs are still developing, you are not well cooked enough to come out. You're still dealing with that and hoping that, they will stay in as long as possible. They just say, oh no, this is it, they have to come out today. You're like, it was a lot for me, Sha.
I think aside our personal experiences, I'm just looking at, ours, the perception people have about natural delivery, cesarean, especially cesarean section.
Some people will say that CS is the easy way. It's not,
and they'll tell you that if you have gone to, you're not a woman.
But that's the
it's not. But none of them are easy way.
I have my children to show for it.
No, but you know what? I actually think that I raise my two hands up for people that go through cesarean.
Yeah,
and that's what
I think I have sort of minimized my own natural birth experience. I've sort of minimized it. It was not all rainbows and roses. But I'm just saying in comparison to my own CS experience, right? And we've heard of Mary's own delivery experience and how crazy it was. So
I acclimatize differently.
But for me, I think it's just the way, because I've seen where people give birth through cesarean and they are asking them, how was your experience? And they are ashamed to tell you. That's the angle I'm coming from. It's more like, there's this, especially back home, there's this stigma that you didn't have
that's what I just
you
said.
didn't have a natural delivery, you're not a mother, you're not a Hebrew woman. And so and for me, I think it's about just reaching out to people out there that
Hebrew woman is the woman that her baby is alive and she's alive. That's Hebrew woman.
It does see, like they mentioned the number of layers that had to be cut. I think
scared and proud.
We don't give people that give birth through cesarean enough flowers. We need to. It's a lot to birth a child and go through that.
Me, I think cesarean or natural delivery, we need to give kudos to mothers because our bodies go through.
It's just
true.
When you hear people are saying she's depressed,
whatever way you choose is fine. As long as you are fine and baby's healthy.
There are some situations where, especially with the older generation women, maybe your child is in labor and there's some complication and they have to go in and cut her up to get the baby out. And they tell you just call your mom and tell her that, we need to do CS or something. God forbid.
That's exactly
God forbid. It is not your portion. Whose portion is it?
but another thing is, one thing that a lot of people are unaware of, even we that are mothers, is the number of pregnancy complications that lead to cesarean section. And that is why, you see, back in the days, the death rate of mother and child were high compared to
really high now.
And if we are not understanding that cesarean has helped us to save lives, and there are certain things that we've not even considered. I was looking the other day,
married with the nuggets.
What are the reasons people are giving birth through cesarean? You see high birth weight, you see this blood pressure. Some people are having diabetes in pregnancy. Some people placenta abruption. There are some people with low cervix. The kind of things you hear, or if they tell you that your placenta is low lying, simply means that because you cannot deliver the placenta before the child.
The placenta has covered the cervix.
So what is more important to you? If you go online and read the reasons why people have cesarean, then you understand the number of pregnancy complications that is associated with having a child. So when we see people that have cesarean and all we are saying is God forbid, it can't happen.
It's not your portion.
It's my imagination.
Everyone has
as in it's not your portion. Would you rather the woman is
Everyone has stories where maybe the man is so religious enough and he refuses to sign off on, and maybe the woman ends up dying. Maybe they take her to church and say, let them pray for her till the baby comes out, and then mother and child
waste of life.
So I think we need more education and maybe for us back home. Yeah, more education
And they're all
right.
waste of
Just
waste
to
of
say
They're
life.
telling you that baby is distressed. You're saying you can still push.
Yeah.
Do you know how that heartbeat can drop? If you watch them monitor heartbeat, do you know when you look at that
You know,
thing?
when I had this, my third child, she was a footling bridge, so her legs were already, she was
Down.
leg down instead of head down.
Mm.
So the, what they call them, the gynecologist or the OBGYN, whichever,
Yeah.
was trying to explain to me that I could still push,
Mm.
right? It's just there would be a risk if her head should get stuck and her not well formed head, first of all, gets stuck, and then the snaps, like the head snaps from her spine or something. I just said, cut me off and bring the baby out.
Terrible.
Do you know why would you go through that pain? I think still go through the other pain.
So imagine I'm doing Hebrew woman,
Mm.
and I say,
Yeah,
no,
enter labor.
don't cut me.
Yeah.
I will push. Then the child head gets stuck there, and there's nothing they can
And she
do.
can't fight because she's
That would
not
be
fully
the-
She's not
formed.
fully formed.
And then you have to live without it.
Like, what was I trying to achieve? You get? So if there's a need for it, there's a need for it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, whatever outcome, whatever that will lead to a favorable outcome for yourself and your child is what you should go for.
Yes.
I saw a post the other day. A man was saying something along the line, and it's funny that it's men that come and say all these things.
Mm.
When you carry the belly, born the pikin, then you have mouths to give an opinion.
I tell you.
As long as you can't physically do it, you don't have an opinion. The guy was like, you just see some pregnant women looking unkempt. Try and take care of yourself. After all, there are still women that are pregnant and they are looking fine.
Oh my God.
They had it easy. Do you know that there are pregnant women that are in the hospital for 9 months?
All true. From the day they see the two lines on
When
the
I went to
seat.
give birth, I had no more.
It's
Exactly.
crazy.
Some are only
Not
feeling
outside.
through to you.
Yeah. Say, is that what I even ask? Say, do your hair now,
Yeah.
paint your face. She's struggling for her life, literally. There's
wants to
this
be in the hospital for
hyperesis gravidium, what's it
Gravity.
called?
Yes.
Yes.
Where you are
HG.
literally throwing up all day, every day
Oh
because
my
you
God.
carry belly. She after vomit, puking my intestines out, and
You
come
know,
and paint my face.
people that didn't have morning sickness will not understand. For 40 weeks, I threw up till the day I gave birth.
Yeah.
No more.
In fact, I literally had to
It
use
was
some
a nice
medication.
sorry for you. Once she drive, she go back.
Yes, I used to have a bag
Had a bag
or
everywhere.
packing. So someone that might just fell pregnant and he just went 9 months and gave birth,
You
they
know,
don't understand.
in my mind right now, if she says she was not
Why? Why do you have to do it?
You know, my GP literally told me, you're not going anywhere. It's like, my GP is even telling me, you're not moving another place. She's trying to tell me that my experience is not funny when I'm pregnant. So I shouldn't
Not
be
do it
even opening
again.
my mouth to say that. There was one time where it was bad. Like, I vomited to the point that I passed out. Where we went to the emergency. My mom, she's like, my husband. And you know, I vomited to the point I started vomiting blood.
it was crazy. Mom was worried as hell.
Like, I never see like that. To her, like, I never seen this kind of thing. I had 4 children. Like, yeah.
Yes.
You know, even when I say money sickness when she was back home, she was
had
like,
really
what is money?
Yeah.
You know, nobody, some people don't have this issue, so they don't understand. Some of us were spitting. Morning sickness.
It's your symptoms. It's your symptoms that they base Nigerian women pregnancy on. How they don't
any small thing. So, but well, it's what it is. But one thing I wanted to say to people out there is, no matter how you have your child, be proud of it.
Yes.
Oh my God, how was your experience? Oh my God, it was so stressful.
You even see some people say, come up to you. The woman has been with I would do. No man has been a CS.
like when they concern you.
Do you know I used to say how to shut people? Because I know the next question that's got my typical person. I just gave birth to the cesarean was there. There are ways to shut people up.
Yeah.
Take pride. And that the person
own it because your body has gone through a lot.
In fact, the person will look at you and see the fact that you normalized it. It's more like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I just said one guy of my experience, and you know what he said to me? He said, no, my wife won't go through it. She's going to do cesarean.
Wow.
This is someone feeling, how so normalize it. When I see somebody that, someone's telling me that, she didn't want to see anyone for 2 weeks because she didn't prepare for cesarean. Baby was already 41 weeks.
What do you mean you didn't prepare for cesarean?
That's not what she thought. She thought she would have a natural delivery. But
Aww.
delivery is delivery.
Yeah.
See, if you are pregnant, just know that it can go anywhere.
Anywhere.
Provided you are okay. Baby is
look at
okay.
mine now.
In this day and time, sef, where I'm annoyed that I'm seeing that the mark is not the way it used to be when they say you have one long mark. Yeah.
Before slice them up. Yeah. They used to slice up down.
Yeah.
Then
But
it
now-
got to a point that they sliced from hip to hip.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. There was a time it was literally
My
from
own
hip
is
to
just very small.
one tiny cut.
And then the second one, the doctor was so nice. She make sure she followed the same
The
line.
same
Just
line.
a little more that she added, but she followed the same line. So you can't even. The only way you will know it's two is if you look at the end, you see two different. Finish. Nice and clean.
And when you even prepare your mind, it also helps with your recovery period.
True.
It's when you are unprepared that when they're telling you
When it
stand up,
catches
you don't
you
want
off
to stand
guard.
up. Because provided your baby is from 37 weeks upward, prepare your mind. It's
Yeah,
only people that when you say delivery just gets
20 weeks,
you are walking to the
24
office,
weeks.
somebody's telling you,
Yeah.
those are situations where
It just catches you
are
off guard.
you are not prepared, and but once you're full term,
You're ready for
Anything.
you're ready.
The mindset,
open-minded.
the mindset should be as long as my baby is
It's
alive
fine,
and well,
you're fine.
and I'm also alive and
Yeah.
well. That is all. But the aftercare or the recovery period for vaginal birth is quite a breeze
Yeah.
when you compare it to
Natural.
But it's all
when you compare to
it
C-section.
differs. There are some people. I've also met people that have been there, done that. If you have a vaginal delivery and you have a third degree tear, let me tell you, you will choose
Painful.
cesarean 10 times more than that.
Painful.
Because I met someone that had vaginal delivery. For 2 days, you can't even stand.
Mary.
You want to pee, you can't pee.
Mary. CS, it's the same.
No, I'm telling you.
Like
Joy,
when we're in Nigeria, maybe yeah, this one is different. This one, you carry your bandage. And walk. They will hold you. So sit down on the toilet to pee. It's terrible.
I
You know
know.
what
you
you
say not to eat.
You need to have bowel movement before you leave.
You see?
The way I call it.
Yes. Just praying to poop.
Are you ever praying? Like you are praying, oh God, thank you for this, but you are praying, God, please help me.
Do you know if you listen to a number of people that had CA after delivery, they don't resume sexual intercourse until after like 6 months to tell you how bad it is for some people.
With my first baby, I had second degree tear. In fact, not even second, I had an episiotomy. So they cut it up and stitched after. Because I think I pushed once, pushed twice. Something wasn't happening. So as soon as the doctor just did, the baby just flew out immediately. So I had that and they stitched it up. And my God. When you want to sit down there, you don't know how to position.
See, you don't get it. It's not even about, eventually at the point, for a period of time, you'll be pressed. Because I've had experience too. You are telling me, P, go back here.
Go back in Jesus' name.
The first thing you actually do, you need to run to go and take your Panadol first. That's disastrous.
Oh wow. Sorry guys.
After that episode, now because I've had both experiences, pull after episiotomy, pull after CS.
Wow.
Mad.
You're thinking about it now, right?
Everything.
Mad. And TMI, if you don't want this disgusting talk, you can skip ahead or join us in the next video.
Yeah.
When the thing drops, it drops without shape or form. It just
See, looking back, I can't even remember as much, but I just know that the recovery period. I think it all depends on our individual.
Yeah.
See that sitting. Someone is like, sit down now. No, I don't want to sit. Because once you sit, you're not okay.
Yes.
And to move how do you move?
And the worst part of it, like in Nigeria now, when I had my first child, after they discharged me, I had the child today, they discharged the following morning. After they discharged me, I think like a week or a few days later, you need to come in for some vaccines and all that. Then you are walking like this.
They put something in between your legs.
You're walking like this.
Oh my God.
And you still need to carry your baby.
Yeah.
And what makes it even crazy is they will tell you, oh, don't carry anything heavier than your baby. But then what happens if you have a toddler at home?
Tell me about it.
Oh
What
no.
happens if you have a toddler at home?
Oh, they don't understand. It's really they want to jump on you. They want to do. Oh, no.
My God.
We they try. We they try.
But man, at the end of the day, as a woman, just know that your body is fabulous. Your body is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Your body is a special machine designed by the best creator.
Yes.
So whatever it does,
You're gonna be alright.
own it. Own it with your chest.
Yes.
Don't allow anybody make you feel less of who you are.
There's a page on Instagram that she's caters solely to moms that have severe section. She's always saying, "I adore my scar" at the end of the day.
Oh yeah.
So yes, we adore our scar.
And with time, the scar becomes less and less visible.
You don't see now. See how you said it's here now. So
Yeah. Because once you get your underwear, it already covers it. It already covers it. Unfortunately for mothers that had their children in times past that had that big tear or the hip to hip, because these days it's just a tiny thing. And
maybe
that's
where the thing even started from the notion that don't just to scatter your body.
Possibly. You know, like when I was recovering from my CS, when I touched the place, it felt like it was so huge.
Yes.
But because your body is stretched out from pregnancy, it will feel like it's a very long scar. But now it's just like this tiny line. It's literally like this line here. Very small and very insignificant. If you even touch it, it's like the line on, like a regular line on your body. It doesn't, there's no difference. And hopefully, I do hope that eventually it will, continue to just disappear and fade and fade out of existence.
No way. Anyways, so our key takeaways for this topic is that everyone should own whatever way they give it. And if you are part of those people that knows it, stay away. Leave a new mother alone. Don't be asking her, did she deliver
Is this CS or natural delivery?
Exactly.
What you should ask is baby okay? Is mom okay?
Thank you.
That's all. But then I think also that even those giving birth should also normalize it, because maybe some people are asking from a point of so they know how to help you. So it might just be an honest question, because maybe the person even did cesarean and has trick.
But like if you need help, you will say
You know that there are some people that don't voice out though.
Voice out to learn to voice out.
Even if you don't voice out, try to fill in the gap where you feel you can.
Learn to voice out.
So I give you an example. I had a friend that had cesarean. It was from her experience. She told me what she had and made her start passing out gas. I didn't do cesarean. And I had the opportunity of meeting someone else that had cesarean, and she was still struggling in the hospital because she had not passed out gas. Now see, from the memory of what I knew from that person, that's what I passed to her. And that night she started passing out. So see, but it really just depends. It's just that sometimes our approach is where the issue is. But
if you're approaching the thing like you're just looking for juice, then
I'm a boss.
Well, like if you that had the baby normalize it before you ask me, I know human beings. Man. Thank God, baby's out though. Cesarean not be beans.
When I had my last baby, all the people that came, I say now so CSA be.
Una they try. But we thank God, we should be proud of where we are today. And the children, look at them and envy your.
So when you see them, say you forget and you go again.
If you don't even ask her, you have big tummy. So anyway, according to Joy, stomach pouch. What did you call it?
Mommy pouch
or whatever you have.
Mommy pouch.
Be proud of anyone that comes your way. Grab it, take it, receive it.
Even after care, speak up the kind of help you need. I know when I had my last baby, Omari used to come over. One of my other friends used to come over, and they would just say, "What do you need done?" And they would just do it. That period, I literally couldn't even get out of the chair. That's where I used to sit.
I remember when you said that for 6 weeks you didn't get into the kitchen. I'm like, wow.
Because you used to bring food.
So
good. Some people used to bring food.
Good support is very necessary.
But if you don't speak up, nobody will know how to coming to help you.
Yeah.
So you need to open your mouth to maybe for church now they talk say close mouth.
It's a closed
Close
destiny.
destiny.
So please speak up.
And that period too, my mother-in-law couldn't come in.
Oh.
So, but when I tell her, oh, this person just brought food, she said, ah, now God go bless them. Tell her, I say thank you.
I know how to sound. I know how to sound.
It's not because she's also been here before, so
Yeah, she knows
it is.
how it is.
So it's not even. I said life abroad. I think some things we do, we are intentional about it. Sometimes we have to cancel certain things to do it. It's not easy.
Yes.
So I think there's that whole
But
level of
yeah,
appreciation
for
that
people
comes in.
to think, like put you first.
This is why you should watch this podcast. Because
Yeah.
even us here today can tell you now that my eye don't be closing small small. Please.
Yeah.
By appreciating us, I said by appreciating, I can't even speak English.
Your brain is shutting down.
Appreciate
It's
us
not
by
easy.
liking,
It's not easy.
like,
Yeah.
share.
Well, we thank God. Good support system. It's very
Yes,
important. That's
necessary.
something that we should have. It can be in form of one person. It can be two. It can be five.
Yeah.
The more the merrier. So,
Exactly.
yeah. Because if it's only one person that brought you food, you will finish in 1 week.
Yeah.
It might not reach 1 week because there's
Okay.
already other crew in the house that must eat.
Yeah.
Not only you
Not
must.
only me, you
So, but yeah, good support system is very important.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we hope you pick something from this episode.
Yes.
So something that you could do to support us is to subscribe to our channel. It's free. You can leave a like. It's also free. You could also leave a comment to increase our visibility. That's also free. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us today. Have a wonderful weekend ahead. Bye.
Let's go and deliver our other things. It's not the baby days to deliver. We have laundry to deliver.
At least it does not require C-section.
I don't know. Okay. You don't even let us finish ending our bye.
We are bye.
Said bye now. Okay, bye.
Bye.